Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a different kind of video, and I actually feel a little funny filming it, knowing how bright and like bold and happy and crazy my makeup looks because and if you want to see this look, I will link to it here if it's already up. If not, it'll be up. I'll make sure it's already up. I filmed this video once before and then I didn't put it up because I've kind of filmed it without any thought or process, and I ranted a lot and I was all over the place. And then I kind of thought, the people that are on my channel, maybe they're only here to see me talk about makeup and that kind of stuff, and they don't want to see this. But I did end up talking, I mentioned something in a previous video of mine where I was playing with my Born to Run palette, which I will link here, where I said, I make mistakes and some people like to pick me up on them and rub them in my face and point them out to me. And a couple of you guys did pick up on that. Now, mind you, the few people that did, I know are people that have been with my channel for a long time. They comment consistently on all my videos, or they're people like Mickey, who is one of my dear, dear friends. And I spoke to them a little bit about it, that I was going to put this video up, and then I didn't. And they all said, do it, put it up. We're here to support you. And I am trying to let you guys get to know a more personal side of me. I'm pretty cagey about that as much as I can be, but I'm trying to kind of open up a little bit more. So this video is going to kind of be like a real talks video about my experiences with bullying in my life and on my channel, because I do want to bring light to it because it's not okay. And I'm going to try and make sure I don't cry during this video or get too emotional during this video. And actually, Tom and I ended up having I don't even know how we got there. We were in a really deep conversation last night and something about bullying got brought up. And it really, really made me feel like, you know what, regardless of the crap that I'm going to get from it, for every 20 people that hate this video, maybe there's one person out there that this video is going to help, that this video is going to make them feel like they're not alone, and that they can come and talk to me about it. I am always here. If you guys comment on my videos, that's the other thing I wanted to say really quickly. I was in my YouTube and I was deep into my creator studio, and I saw a ton of, I'm talking 30 plus comments on different videos that I'd never seen before. For some reason, YouTube isn't sending me notifications every time you guys comment. So you guys will notice that the other night at 1:30 in the morning, I was replying to every single comment that I've had from 3 weeks ago. So if you comment on my video, and I haven't answered you, I'm so, so sorry. I really do want to be friends with everybody. I try and answer or or heart every comment I get, so you guys know that I'm here, you know that I'm seeing it, and you know that I appreciate it. So if you're one of those people, I am so, so sorry. I'm going to make sure I actually go looking for them now and that I get better with it, because for whatever reason, YouTube's not sending me all my comments. Anyway, where was I before this? I always do this. What I was saying is, if you guys ever need to talk and you're not comfortable doing it in the comments, private message me. I do check my messages, not as often as I should, but I'll make sure I do. If you want to talk about it with somebody that's been there, that understands your experiences, that's not going to judge, and that's just here to support and help, I'm here. And I'm happy to talk to anybody about any of that stuff if you want to. So like I said, this is going to be a real talks video about bullying. If you come to my channel just to see the makeup stuff and this isn't for you, just click out of this video. I'm not going to be offended, but what I don't want to see is that I put this out here and it comes back with more hate on me. It was giving me anxiety thinking about filming this video and thinking about how much I was opening myself up to more of this. And then everybody was so supportive that I just said, you know what, I can handle it. I'm a strong person. I'll put it up. So how do I start? I tried to do a little bit of research before I did this video, and I looked up very quickly what the difference between bullying and abuse is, because they ride a very fine line. And basically, all the definitions I saw were things like, oh, abuse is normally a continued string of things and this and that, and bullying is incidental and whatever. Bullying is abuse, okay? Whether you're physically bullying somebody or whether you're verbally harassing them or emotionally bullying people or whatever, you're abusing people. And it's not okay. There's so much bad in this world that I don't understand sometimes how people can be so hard on one another. And I'm also going to preface this by saying I am not innocent of bullying. whether I did it, I don't think I ever did it intentionally, but every time you know, are talking about someone behind their back or making fun of somebody or something, in a sense, you are bullying. I am not innocent of that. I'm sure I have bullied people, whether it was my intent to do so or not. And I wholeheartedly apologize for that. I never intended to do it. But I don't want to sit here and just play the victim, because I'm sure I've done it. I'm sure a lot of us have done it and don't even realize that we've done it. And we really, really need to be aware of the things that we do and the things that we say and how they affect people, especially when we're living in this world where there's so much mental health issues, and they're definitely being spoken about more now, and being brought more to light and more, so that people think it's okay. It's actually, you know, normal to have all of these issues and stuff. So don't hide them, seek help for them, all of these things. It's really important. But having said that, you have to be so careful about who you're saying what to, because you don't know what they're dealing with on the other end of it. You don't know, is that the last straw that's going to break the camel's back and push them over the edge? You hear about all of these stories about all of these young people who are getting bullied in school, cyberbullied, all of these things, and it drives them to take their lives, and that's not okay. I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about my personal experiences with bullying, from like as early as I can remember up until the recent stuff that's been happening on my YouTube channel that has made this come out, because I want you guys to see that I have experienced it too. And, you know, as much as it hurts me, I'm a stronger person for it. And I want you guys to know how I'm handling it and how I'm reacting to it. And maybe that will help somebody else. So from a really, really young age, I don't think I got bullied when I was really little. Like when I was tiny, like I'm talking, obviously as a baby, I wasn't bullied, but like even early elementary school, it wasn't ever a problem. Like everybody was friends with everybody, you know, that was before boys like girls and girls like boys and, you know, whatever. Everybody's just friends and everybody just wants to hang out and play and stuff like that. Now, by time I got to, I'd say about grade 7 or 8, I was a little behind my friends, because they were all dating boys and they all liked people, and I liked boys, but like I wasn't concerned with dating. I didn't even get my first real boyfriend until I was in grade 12, which is definitely late compared to my friends who were dating in grade 7, 8, all through high school, whatever. So I was kind of late in that sort of sense, because at that point I was focusing on school. I loved school. I still love school. I wanted to do well. That was my priority. And that meant, and a lot of times I didn't have time to worry about boys. But when I was in grade 7, I'll also say I was never one of the popular kids at school, which is funny because when I meet people now, I think people think I was. Like when I started my new job, I was talking to a guy who totally thought I was like the prom queen of my school and all this, and I never was. I was a huge nerd. I still am. I was always just doing my own thing, kind of driving my own path, and I didn't really fall into what everybody else was doing. And that makes you vulnerable to being picked on. So like I said, I did like a boy, really popular boy in my school. A lot of girls had crushes on him, and him and I talked. Like we were cool. We talked on the phone. If he needed help with homework, I helped him with homework. Like him and I were cool, and I just had a crush on him, and it was not a big deal. And my friends knew, and I don't remember if I told him or if somebody else told him that I liked him. But it got back to me that he found out and that he liked me too. And that after school that day, he was going to ask me to be his girlfriend or ask me on a date. Because I mean, when you're in grade 7, it's not like you go on dates and stuff like that. You see if you like the person, then you see if you want a relationship. You just get a boyfriend. You know what I mean? You hold hands. It's a big deal, whatever. So I heard that after school that day, he was going to ask me to be his girlfriend. And I was over the moon excited. I couldn't believe it was finally happening to me. I wasn't that person that got that. I wasn't one of the popular girls. I wasn't one of the pretty girls, like, and he wanted me. And I was so excited. And these were close friends that were telling me this. Like, it wasn't like these girls that I didn't talk to or whatever. These are friends that I considered my best friends that were telling me this. So anyway, whole day goes by. After school, so people are telling me, go meet him by the basketball nets. Okay, fine, I'll go do that. So I went out and he was there, and it was a huge joke. Everybody was there laughing. Nobody could believe that I believed it. And it hurt, and that stays with you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was in grade 7, and was I going to marry the guy? No, but I was humiliated in front of everybody because I thought somebody liked me and they didn't. So that was like my first vivid memory of being bullied. In high school, I was never, okay, girls and boys get bullied, but I found that and I'm not saying this as like an exclusive thing. I know there are some girls that do get physically picked on and bullied. I never did. I never got beat up at school. I never got, pushed or hit or anything. Like, I never got physically bullied. And I know that it is more prevalent among boys. Not saying only, that's not an exclusivity. Girls definitely get physically bullied, but mine was all mental and verbal and emotional bullying. And excuse me to quote, this is going to kind of go off and you guys are going to be like, why are you having such a serious talk? And I'm making a joke, but I kind of need to, just to like, that's who I am. I try and make jokes and humor out of funny situations. I'm going to quote like an old movie. If anybody's ever seen Gold Diggers and the Legend of Bear Mountain, or The Secret of Bear Mountain, it's actually probably on YouTube. So I'll link it down below because I've watched the whole movie. It's like one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. At the end, they talk about like this woman is being abused and they said, okay, the bruises and the bleeding and the cuts and stuff, that all heals, but the emotional scars take the longest to heal. And I do believe that's true. And I'm not trying to say that if you're physically bullied, it's not as bad as if you're emotionally bullied, but I find that the emotional stuff stays with you a little bit longer for whatever reason. Like I said, it has stayed with me, and that was over 10 years ago, and I still remember it, and it still hurts me now. Anyway, so in high school, like I said, I was more concerned with school. I was doing extra credit work. I was helping my teachers in my spare time. At lunchtime, I was in the library getting my homework done. I can remember a day in my math class, the teacher assigned math homework, and the next day she was checking it. And there's like literally 30 people in the class, and she'd go to everybody and nobody had their homework done but me. And because I had it done, I made it bad on everyone else, because if nobody had it done, it's like, okay, what can they do? But I did it. So it's like, well, she did it. Why didn't everyone else do it? So maybe I singled myself out in that way. But I don't think so. I never bragged about being smart, about being good at school. I never did. It was just something I enjoyed doing. And I used to I was that kid that kind of screwed the bell curve. Like, if everybody did a project and did A+ work, I was the kid that did this and then more. So they had to bump everybody else down to accommodate for my grades. I was that kid. And I could see how that would bug some people. But I couldn't help it. That was just who I am. I'm kind of still like that now. I'm an overachiever, particularly when it comes to school. Anyway, so in school, I got kind of picked on. I actually wanted to be homeschooled. I hated high school so much. I didn't want to be there. My parents were looking into options to take me out. I didn't like it. The only thing that got me through it was my teachers and the few friends that I did have. I only really had, at any given time, about 2 or 3 really good friends in high school. I only really talked to one of them now. Megan was my friend all through this. You guys have heard me talk about Megan. Megan is my best friend. But Megan is a year younger than me. So as much as she was at my high school, we were in different grades. We didn't have classes together. We didn't really have the same schedule. We didn't hang out together. So there's that. So when I talk about I only had a few friends, Megan, I'm not including. Megan has always been my friend and will always be my best friend. You know what I mean? I had one really, really great friend. That's Courtney. Courtney now lives in BC. I was in her wedding a couple summers ago. And her and I never had a problem. Any problem that Courtney and I ever had in high school was because of somebody else. Like, if her and I were having a fight, it wasn't our fight to have. It was somebody else's fight to have. So I have never been a big girl, and in high school I was getting called fat, I was getting called ugly, I was, getting told all of this stuff that I didn't need to hear. And the thing with boys happened to me again and again and again. I would like these boys and I would talk to them and I would tell them I liked them, and they would say they liked me too, and then they would start dating one of my friends, and it just kept happening, and it just hurt me so much. And, these things would happen where I would do nothing and my friends would come up with some reason to hate me for the day, and I would go to meet them at lunch and see them, and they would run from me. Like, literally run away from me down the hallway laughing because they didn't want to spend time with me. Or I remember one day a tampon fell out of my bag, and and we're in high school, all girls have that in high school, it's all girls have it in general now. Like, when you're older, like, it's not a big thing. And a tampon fell out of my backpack and all the boys are kicking it around and making this huge thing. And it's like, what is going on here? So I hated high school, and I mean hated high school. And I didn't party, and I didn't drink, I didn't party, I didn't get invited to parties, I didn't do any of that stuff. Like, there would be times where after high school, I would go out to the bar and I would see somebody I went to high school with. Normally it would be like a guy I went to high school with that maybe I had a crush on in high school or something. And I would go up to them and be like, hey, how's it going? How are you? And they'd be like, hey. And I'd be like, you don't know who I am, do I? And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, I went to high school with you. Oh, were you younger? No, I was actually in about 4 or 5 year classes. You just ignored me then. Happens all the time. And I do mean all the time. Like, the amount of people that I went to high school with that don't recognize me now is just ridiculous. Like, it's utterly absurd. So that happened in high school. University was the first time I really got away from it. I didn't get bullied really badly in university. I was able to make tons of different friends with tons of different groups. I loved university. It was probably the best time in my life. I did not get bullied in university. A little bit. I had a friend in university who, I don't know if it was bullying or if she was just, you know, she needed to be the best. She needed to be the center of attention. So she would find these little ways to like insult you where it was like, are you joking or is it okay that, you know, whatever. And I remember the one of the last times I ever saw her, and I don't speak to her anymore, was we were all hanging out and she said of the group, you know, Sam, you're probably the one that's the most like classically like pretty, like blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever, like red lips, like the most like when you classically like look at like classic movie stars like Marilyn Monroe, she's like, you're probably that one, the one that's most like classically pretty. And I was just like, did that just come out of your mouth? Because she'd never said anything like that to me before. Anyway, after high school, you guys will know I went to college. I didn't have any problem there. I went with all boys to college. And boys, if boys have a problem with you, they say it to your face. They don't go behind your back. They don't start rumors. They don't do it in little catty little ways. And girls are so bad for that. Girls are so catty. It's why I don't have a lot of girlfriends, because I don't like the drama and I can't handle it. And you know, it's so unnecessary. So you guys will know that I went to college and you know, another way that I think of as bullying is starting rumors. So I worked at a bowling alley for a little while, and I was the oldest one there. I was like 24. Everybody else was like 18, whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't living in the same age as them. There was a younger guy there. He was 6 years younger than me. And him and I got along so well, like just as friends. Him and I would joke together. We would talk. He would vent to me about his girl problems. We never hung out or anything like that, but like we were talking all the time. He would always text me and this and that. And he had a girlfriend that worked there, and she was super paranoid about me and thought that I was what broke them up, even though I wasn't. I actually helped put them together, and she just never realized that. And she would start these rumors that there was these like married men that come and bowl in leagues, that I was breaking up the marriages, and I was getting Facebook messages from these girls that were married to these guys telling me to back off their man when I didn't do anything. And it got so bad that it got back to my boss, who confronted me about it. And this is like an older woman who, this is her family business, and it's literally her granddaughter that's starting these rumors about me that are completely untrue. So eventually I quit there because I was like, I don't have time to deal with this drama. Like, and this, you know, rumors that are getting spread about me that aren't true. Like, I shouldn't even have to address them. It's just ridiculous. I'm not in high school anymore. I don't want to play those games anymore. And then I got my serving job. And I kind of have always said to you guys, I would put a video together of funny stories and stuff I have. And I haven't really talked about my serving job a lot. And that's because when I first started my channel, I was still serving there, and I didn't want to, you know, bash the company that I worked for, because there was no problem with the company. It was the people that I worked with. And not all the people, I will say this, not all the people were bad. But working at the restaurant, and I've heard this about several restaurants, is like being back in high school, where it's very cliquey. And if you're not in with the clique, you're on the outside. And it got to the point where all of these rumors were getting spread about me hooking up with people that I never hooked up with, about me saying things I never said. Literally, I would say something to people, turn around, and they would roll their eyes at me. I made friends with a girl at work, Brianna, who I'm still dear friends with today. She wasn't one of the people. And the other girls at work would say, why are you friends with her? Like, why are you friends with her? Why? And Brianna would say, why can't I be? What's the problem? And they never had a reason. They never had a reason why they didn't like me. They just all decided as a collective that they didn't like me. And it got so bad that at one point somebody came up to me and was like, nobody likes you here. Why are you still here? And that's really hard. And that girl was subsequently spoken to by the owner and fired, because the owner is a good friend of mine. and he really respected me and he saw the work I was doing. And ultimately, I think that's a lot of the problem. It's, again, like the school thing. When I went to work, I went to do my job and do my job well and get out. I wasn't there. It's nice to have friends at work, but I'm there to work. I'm there to make a living. I'm not there to make friends. So I go in, I immediately start stocking up everything that hasn't been stocked all day. I start cleaning. I start doing this. I'm not standing around and gossiping and talking like everybody else. And I think that made it worse for everybody else. So, like I said, that girl that was doing it the worst was eventually fired. And there were a couple other ones that were doing it too, but she seemed to be the ringleader. And eventually it got so bad that they transferred me from one location to another one so that it wouldn't be so bad anymore. And it wasn't bad at the other one. It was fine. So that happened. And that was like the worst of it when I was older, was that I was coming home and I was getting upset about all the things that I'd heard, and I didn't want to go to work because of these girls. And I loved being a server. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. It's a great job to have. I was moving all the time. It was fast paced. You never knew, every day was different. I loved that. But I would see schedules and see that I was working with those people, and I'd say, I don't want to go in. I don't want to deal with that. And it shouldn't be like that. Like, yeah, nobody likes to work. Working sucks, but we all have to do it. But you should be doing something you enjoy doing. And at that point, I just wasn't anymore, because I knew how bad it was going to be when I got to work. I don't work there anymore. That's not a problem anymore. And at my new job, again, I work with almost all guys. There are a few girls there, and I have had problems with a few of them. I don't know what one of their problem was. She just decided she didn't like me, and she's just rude. And, that doesn't bother me so much, because at this point I'm so, and this is horrible to say, I'm so used to it now that I built up a super thick skin to it, and it just rolls off my shoulders now. And I used to fight back about it. I'm a very proud person. I don't like being spoken to in a disrespectful way. I don't like being put down and whatnot and not being able to defend myself. But to what end? You start getting into these back and forth fights with people and defending yourself, and all of a sudden you're just as bad as the people who are starting with it. So I just stop it in its tracks, and I just, try not to give it any credit, anything more than what it is. So at my new job, like I was saying, there's one girl that's super rude and stuff like that. I don't know if she's bullying me really, but she's still not pleasant. And then my direct supervisor, literally until yesterday, I've been on shift there for a month. She never bullied me. She just didn't talk to me. She didn't acknowledge that I existed for forever. And we don't know why. And I'm not the only one that noticed it. Like, we would sit in our little meetings in the morning, and she would talk to everybody and bypass me, like, completely. And I know that all of the other people that are in my same position that have different supervisors than I do are not having this problem. So I don't know what the issue is. I know that when I got there, she was the only girl in our crew, and I showed up. So I don't know if it was like she felt threatened, or if she liked being the only girl and didn't like that I was there or whatever. We don't know why. But up until yesterday, she never spoke to me. And then yesterday, I actually found out that she is on the side doing like a correspondence course for like something that has to do with ancient history and ancient civilization. And she turned her back to me for a second, and the other guy that was sitting there knew what my Bachelor of Arts degree was in. And he's like, talk to her about this. And I did. And she finally opened up and talked to me for like 20 minutes about what she's taking in school and what she likes and what she doesn't. And that was really nice. So I think I've kind of gotten over that hump. And like I said, I don't think that was bullying. I just think it took me a little while to find a way in. Anyway, what this video all stemmed from. You guys will know I've posted one video about this before, about somebody making a comment to me about my swatches sucking and I don't know how to put lipstick on and yada, yada, yada. Fine. I addressed it once before. I addressed it in my second part of my MAC Christmas haul last year. I'll put it here so you guys can see if you want to see. And I laughed about it then. I was in the Dominican. Most of you will know I was in the Dominican about a month ago. And I posted a bunch of videos from there because I didn't want you guys to be left with no videos. And I got tons of comments from you guys, which was really nice. But there were a couple that I got. And the last thing I want to be doing while I'm down there is be getting upset and having to put more thought into this than I wanted to. The first one was not bad. I don't know that it was bullying, but it was still completely unnecessary. If I make a mistake on here that is a vital mistake, if I'm telling you something that's completely untrue, feel free to correct me down below in the comments, but please do it in a respectful manner. I don't mind. I make mistakes. I don't mind you guys coming back and correcting me. Just don't be condescending about it and be respectful. Now, this wasn't a big correction. This was a small mistake that I made, and I'm trying not to get too in detail about what it was, but I will say exactly what it was. The comment is gone now. I deleted it. To the person that wrote this comment, I will not say your name. I'm not trying to single you out. I'm just trying to let you know how it made me feel in the moment. My travel makeup bag, I put travel makeup bag Dominican 2018. And somebody actually found the need to comment, Dominican is not a country, it's the Dominican Republic. If I had said Dominica, Dominica's a different country. I get that. That's a clear mistake. But most people where I'm from, at least, refer to the Dominican Republic as the Dominican or the DR. Even if you go down there and you're like, oh, the Dominican, they say the same thing. What is a person that's from the Dominican Republic? They're normally, I wouldn't say, I guess they're a Dominican Republican, but like a lot of times they'll be like, I'm Dominican. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously that person also knew what I meant. You knew what I meant. I don't know why you found the need to try and make me feel stupid about it, or, you know, like why? I don't understand why people do it. Like, what good is it doing you? Is it bringing you some satisfaction to put me down in some way, to make me feel stupid, to make me feel ugly, to make me feel anything? Like, I don't understand why people do it. Anyway, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm a little upset, but I'm also sick. So that was the first thing. So the person that wrote that, I don't know if that's what you meant by it, but that's how it came across to me. So just maybe consider how people are going to take it when you do that. That person, I haven't deleted from my channel. I haven't blocked from my channel, whatever. It was a minor thing. It just bugged me. The other one, I put up a video recently hauling my MAC Patrick Star little summer spring kit thing, and it came with lip glosses. And if you guys have been with me for any length of time, even though I have a ton of lip gloss, I'm not a big lip gloss person because I do have really long hair, which I prefer to wear down. I actually get really bad, brutal headaches. So whenever my hair is up in a ponytail or up back or something like that, it kind of tugs at my head and gives me tension headaches. So more often than not, you'll see me with my hair down, or if it's pinned back, it'll be like, there's literally 4 bobby pins in my hair right now to hold all my hair back, because any more than that, and it just puts too much pressure on my head, which I will talk about in another video. If you guys enjoy these videos, I'll make sure I do more Real Talks videos, and you guys are feel free to like make comments and suggestions below about what kind of Real Talks you want to see me do. If you want to hear, if you like this, if you want to hear my stand on stuff like that, I'm happy to do it. If you don't want to see any more of these, then this can be a one-off. We'll kind of see. So anyway, I was filming that video and I said something about not liking lip gloss or not knowing which lip gloss to wear or whatever. And somebody found the need to comment, why do you care about lip gloss? You don't have any lips anyway, so it shouldn't matter to you, or something like that. You don't need lip gloss. You don't have lips anyway. Maybe my lips aren't big. Maybe my lips are small. I've never noticed if they are. I have insecurities about certain parts of my body and certain physical like attributes and stuff that I have. My lips have never been one of them. This doesn't make it be one of them. I do know when I smile, my top lip disappears. Do you see that? Do you see that? Maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know. But they meant it in a very vindictive way. They're like, LOL, like this stuff. They meant it in a way that it sounds. They meant it to try and hurt me and to try and make me feel something about myself that I don't feel, whatever. Now, that person has subsequently been blocked and banned from my channel because I don't want that kind of negative commenting and crap going on. I try and be a pretty positive person. I know a lot of you guys have said that about me in the past, that I come across super relatable and all this stuff, and I really do try to be that way. But when you get stuff like that, it makes it really hard. And it was one of the reasons I almost didn't start my channel in the first place, because I didn't want to deal with that kind of negative crap I've been getting. And majority of you guys have never done that to me, ever. And it makes me so happy to know that, like, you know, it's literally like this. Like, the amount of positive support I get is so amazing and so incredible. It's just the 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 bad comments I get. And you guys will never see these comments, because as soon as they come to me, I delete them. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to start a war. A lot of you guys have said if I'm getting bullied, you would say something, you would stand up for me, and I appreciate that. But what I don't want to start is a back and forth war. And the reason I just delete these comments is because I will not bring myself down to that level to even give a response. I know this video is a response to it because it needs to be said. It's happening too much, not just to me, but to everybody. But I'm not going to personally respond to these people and give them the satisfaction of knowing that their comments had any effect on me, because I don't care about my lips. The Dominican thing, I know what I meant. Most people knew what I meant. If you found the need to correct yourself for your own well-being, that's you. That's not me. Ultimately, what I'm saying is, for the person that said the thing about my lips, like I said, I don't care. Maybe my lips are small. They work for my face. That's fine. What if I was sensitive about it? What if that was a thing that drove me nuts? And I tried to avoid it all the time, and I tried to put lipstick on all the time, and I tried to outline my lines bigger, and I tried lip plumpers, and I tried everything, and it made me really, really insecure. And you pointed it out to me. And now it's in my head. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There's people that have those problems, and it drives them to do, you know, maybe not as drastic as suicide or things like, but it drives you to things, and it can torment you. Why would you do that to somebody? Why would you actively choose to go and hurt somebody like that? I don't understand. And I just think that when people are doing this, sometimes they don't think of the effect that it can have on people. So it's like your mom said when you were a kid, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Keep it to yourself, because you don't know the effect it'll have on somebody. You don't. You just don't. You don't know where I am mentally. You don't know where I am emotionally. Like I said, I'm a strong enough person that when people say stuff to me now, for the most part, it kind of just rolls off my shoulders. I can't be bothered anymore, because it's happened so much in my life that I would not be who I am if I let it affect me the way that it once did. And I will talk about that again in another video if you guys want me to, about problems that I used to have with mental health, that I have overcome and that are not as much of a problem for me anymore. Again, that's a really personal thing for me. So if I'm going to do it, I need to know that I have everybody's support for it, because it is a very, very serious thing, and it has affected my life greatly. And, you know, whole side thing. If you guys want to see it, let me know. I will think about doing it, whatever. But you don't know what effect it has on people when you bully. So ultimately, like, think about it. Like, what benefit does it have to bully a person? What benefit does it have? And for girls, why are we so horrible to each other? Why? I know I'm not alone in feeling this. I know I've probably done it. But why? Like, everybody's always saying, boys say it too. Girls are horrible to each other. And I don't know why. Like, don't we have enough problems with, like, guys being horrible to us half the time? Like, why are we horrible to each other? We all just need to, like, really, really think about the effects and stuff that we're having on the world. And I guess the message that I'm trying to send here is that bullying ultimately starts and ends with you. It's the reason I don't lash back at comments. It's the reason I don't get in fights with people over this, because if I'm getting in fights, I am no better than the person that cut it off. Sorry, this video got really long, and cut it off in its tracks, because all I'm doing is feeding a fire if I'm commenting back and saying anything that relates to that. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to feed this fire. I don't want it to continue. So if you're one of those people that has been commenting negative things on my video, or really anybody's videos on YouTube, don't. If you have a problem with someone, don't watch their videos. It's not a choice. No one's got a gun to your head forcing you to do it. And YouTube is a great outlet. It's a great way to make relationships and make contacts and make friends, and for me to play with makeup and all of these things. And I know that there's a lot of other people who have specifically told me that they would love to start a YouTube channel, but they're afraid of the negative, like, clapback that they're going to get. They don't want the bad comments. They don't want any of that stuff. So why do we do it? And I know that this video isn't going to change it, but maybe this video will touch one person. Maybe this video will make one person who gets bullied in the world feel like they're not alone, and that they can find me and come and talk to me, because I've been there. I have, and I understand, and it's not okay. So if you guys are watching this video, I can't control other channels, but I can control mine. And I'm not going to stand for bullying on my channel. I'm not going to stand. There's one thing about critique. Negative critique is okay as long as it's constructive and meant in a respectful manner. I'm not saying like, don't tell me I do something wrong. Don't tell me, don't correct me. I'm not saying that. But don't attack me, whether you meant to or not. And if it doesn't need to be said, maybe don't say it, because I'm telling you guys right now, it ends there. I'm not putting up with it. If you do it, you will find your comments deleted. If you continue doing it, you will find yourself banned from my channel. That's all there is to it, because I do want this to be a positive outlet for me, a positive place for other people to come and reach out to me and talk to me about makeup, about boys, about problems that you're having at home. If you guys want to talk to somebody, I'm here. I promise you I'm here. I will answer as much as I can. I check my YouTube every single day. You know, so as much as this video went all over the place and off on a tangent and everything, I think I got everything that I wanted to say out. For all of those people that encouraged me to film this, I appreciate your support so, so much. It made me feel like it was okay to come on here and talk about this, even though I was really afraid to. So, like I said, I didn't mean this to be like a downing kind of video, but it needed to come out for my sake at least. And I hope that for those of you who have stuck around this long, that this video has opened your eyes or helped you, or you agree with this video or something. Let me know down below. Please comment. Please let me know your opinions on this. Please let me know your experiences with this if you so feel like it. I want this place to be an outlet for you guys as much as it is for me. So if you like this kind of video and want to see more of these Real Talks videos, let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up. I would definitely be open to doing that. And subscribe to my channel if you guys are interested in seeing more content like this and my makeup content, and you want to get to know me better. I would really, really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys next time.